Okay, so if you recall from our last video, sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta equals 1. And sine squared of theta is going to be, or sine of theta will equal 1 minus the square root of both sides. We get sine this is our next identity. Sine of theta equals plus or minus the square root of 1 minus cosine squared theta. And we can do the opposite. Solve for cosine. We're going to get cosine squared theta equals 1 minus sine squared theta. Take the square root of both sides. Cosine squared theta equals plus or minus 1 minus sine squared theta. This is not squared, it's just cosine. Okay, so we've got these rules that we already have down from SOHCAHTOA. Tangent is opposite over adjacent. So if we think about our angle, here's theta. Opposite side is our y. Adjacent side is our x. On the unit circle, this is 1. So tangent of theta equals y over x. Y is the same as sine theta over x is the same as cosine theta. We'll be using that one a little bit later, playing around with that a little bit. Okay, so you're going to have problems that ask you if sine of theta equals 0.766, 0.766, find cosine of theta. And all we do in a case like this, we're looking for cosine theta, so we're going to use this trig identity here. Cosine of theta equals plus or minus 1 minus sine squared theta. Well, we know what the sine of theta is, so we can just plug it in, and then we have to square it because sine of theta, this is sine of theta squared there, sine squared theta. And we can use a calculator. We'll keep it rounded to 3 decimal places. Make sure your calculator is going to be in radian mode. And mode, radian, good. 0.766 squared. 1 minus that. And then the square root of our answer equals cosine theta. And we're going to take the positive values here, 0.643. Plus or minus, excuse me. Plus or minus 0.643 is our answer. Okay, so you'll have problems where you'll be asked to, you'll be given sine. It's asking you to find cosine of the same angle, and you just use your trig identity that we figured out over here. And that will be a help for you. Okay, let's do another one like that. If cosine theta equals negative 0.906. find the sine of theta. Find the sine, so I'm going to use this one over here. We could probably use either one really, but sine of theta is going to equal plus or minus the square root of 1 minus cosine of theta is this, negative 0.906, and then we do have to square it. And put 906 squared. It's negative 0.906 squared, but it's going to turn out positive anyway. 0.821. Okay. 1 minus our answer. So we get sine of theta equals plus or minus the square root of 0.179. And the square root of that is, so sine of theta equals 0.423. Kind of strange how we can tie those together, but we're actually, remember these are just, we just got these from the sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta equals 1. So you could just plug it back into that and work backwards, and that'd be exactly the same thing. Okay, so let's look at our tangent now. We said that tangent of theta equals sine theta over cosine theta. Okay, this is true. We can also solve this for sine. Multiply both sides by cosine. Sine theta equals cosine theta times tan theta. Okay, not too bad. We can also solve this for, you guessed it, cosine. Well, we would multiply both sides by cosine, and that's where we get here. Multiply both sides by cosine. Cosine cancels out, which is on this side over here. And we're going to divide both sides by tangent. Cosine theta is going to be sine theta over tan theta. Okay, so we're going to be using these, and we are going to figure out if tan theta equals negative 2.327, we are asked to find sine theta and cosine of theta. Alright, so let's take a look how they do this. We're going to use our sine identity, this one here. Sine of theta equals cos theta tan theta. And we know what tan theta equals. It's this one up here. So we're going to substitute that in there. Sine theta equals cos theta times negative negative 2.327. Okay, so far so good. Now we want to find cosine of theta. Now this part over here equals sine theta. Okay, that's what sine theta is. Now we are going to plug this back into our Pythagorean identity. Sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta equals 1. And we're going to use this value for sine squared theta. So sine squared theta comes first. We're going to have cosine theta times negative 2.327 squared, that's all sine theta squared, plus cosine squared theta equals 1. Notice what we did here is we've eliminated our tangent. We've just got sines and cosines. So we put our sine in terms of cosine plugged in our number for tangent, and now that is our sine. So we have sine in terms of cosine, and then a cosine over here. It's essentially just one variable. So that's kind of nice. Okay, so when we square this side, we're going to get 5.415 times the cosine squared theta plus cosine squared theta equals 1. So that many cosine squared thetas plus another one is going to be 6.451. 415. And then we can divide. And now we have, I got some room over here, cosine squared theta equals 0.156 and square root cosine theta equals plus or minus 0.395. And this is our cosine, so we are asked to find cosine theta, and we're also asked to find the sine of theta. Well, I would just do this. Keep it very simple. If we're looking for sine, we have cosine, we have tangent. We know tangent of theta equals sine theta over cosine theta. Tangent of theta is negative 2.327. Sine theta we don't know yet. Cosine theta is this down here. I'm going to move this plus or minus up to our sine theta. 0.395, so we're going to multiply both sides by 0.395. Negative 2.327 multiplied by 0.395. And this is negative 0.919. This is plus or minus, so we can do a plus or minus there. And now we've solved for sine and for cosine. So that's a little bit of work, but you just use your identities. And you got it. Let's do one more like that. And then you're going to be ready for the assignment. How much time do I have left? Well, we're going to stop there and then do a part 3 of this video.